It's a lower order that saved India the blushes once again, much like the Border Gavaskar Trophy. India win this first one-day international at the Wankhede Stadium by 5 wickets, courtesy a century partnership between, guess who? KL Rahul is back to run scoring ways, 75 not out of 91. He came in at number 5 when India were hardly anything for 3, and then he was joined by Ravindra Jadeja, who's making a comeback to the ODI side. 191 for 5 with just over 10 overs to go. Zaheer Khan and Dinesh Karthik in company on Quick Buzz Live. Zach, it shouldn't have come to this, but I suppose in a very odd way, this will be a very satisfying win. India were tested, and it's good to see that they crossed the finish line with a very professional display by those two.
They were under pressure with some quality bowling by Mitchell Starc. There's no doubt about it. He set the tone for that defense of Australia. Just defending such a small total was never going to be easy, but he created those opportunities at the top, put Indian team under pressure, and KL stepped up. I think his knock was very, very crucial at that stage, stitching that partnership with Hardik, and then carrying it on with Ravindra Jadeja with 100-run partnership, which pretty much took Australia out. On the whole, from Australian side, maybe there was that one attacking bowler shot. That's something which the feeling I got. But the whole game, bowlers dominated. The seam bowlers were able to put batters under pressure and created some good contests.
KL Rahul seemed like a man on a certain mission because questions have been asked. I'm sure he isn't oblivious to what's being said about him on Twitter between ex-cricketers, etc. But today he seemed like he was in the zone. He knew he was going to get tested. But after that Starc spell, it looked like he was in control through and through.
Right at the outset, he looked very confident. Just the first ball, the cover drive of Mitchell Starc on a hat-trick. He bowls that beaming going for the Yorker, but just was a little bit more over-pitched. Just the way, the conviction with which he is able to come on the front foot, play Mitchell Starc, and through his innings, must admit that he looked very confident, very steady. He was brilliant with the way he just went about his thing. 75 not out might look, after a year's time, in different contexts, not a big score, but at the stage that he came in, it was an innings that was needed, where he needed to take time, and then he just blossomed. The one thing that you can never ever say about KL Rahul is that he is not talented. He is somebody who makes shot making look easy. Just after he got to 50, the way he was just able to accelerate the next 25 runs was such a joy to watch. He is one of the few right-handers who is so good looking while batting as well.
7 fours and just that 1 6 of Zampa in this innings of 75 not out. So clearly he didn't allow his ego to control the way he was going to approach his innings. He was steady, he looked in control, perhaps understood his responsibility really well.
And he enjoys this pitch as well.
Yep.
Wankhede, he's got some good memories. He scored a lot of hundreds here, especially in IPL, and generally with batters you've seen. If you enjoy one particular ground, it just kind of gets you in that zone. Today the situation was not easy. When you're 3 down and you're walking into bat with doesn't matter what kind of total you're chasing down, you still got to bring out your A game. You still got to absorb that pressure, which KL Rahul did brilliantly today. And what's important for me is that he's finished the job. So when you are in this kind of a situation, it's very satisfying when you stay there right till the end and finish the job for your team.
2019 World Cup, India didn't have a proper number 4. Now we're talking about number 5. KL Rahul at 5, does that sound good to you? Does that sound like music to your ears? Given that we have a World Cup coming up at home, you need a batsman like this who can perhaps steady the ship if quick wickets fall as well. He can bat very well against the new ball and is a good player of spin as well. So at 5, do you think that is his spot once Rohit comes back up top?
100%. There's no doubt about it. I think even if Rohit comes back, I think KL Rahul's spot for this World Cup is number 5. He's done very well in the recent past as well. He got a 50 against Bangladesh. So he's in form, he's in rhythm, he's making that number 5 his own. Would he like to bat opening? Maybe, but in many ways it solves a couple of problems. We don't need to go looking for another opener in the team, because right now with just 15 being picked, sometimes it can be really hard to pick players, but he gives you that flexibility, and he's a terrific batsman to have, because the one thing we are aware is at the back end of the innings, he can really play shots that anybody else can, and that is a very important aspect of a number 5 batter, and it's great to see him do so well.